Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy TK here, back with another video. I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. We're not gonna do just one ride along, we're gonna do it with two vehicles today. I'm gonna go ahead and show you both the vehicles I'm about to do ride alongs today. Here we go. We got a Chevelle SS, and we got a Corvette, a C4 Corvette. But I already know right off the bat, this is a 1969 and this is a 1995. Cause this is the first year they put those extended side vents for the late C4s. Of course, they only had it for 95 and 1996 model year. Like I said, everybody, I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to do two ride-alongs today. This is something I had never done before, but hey, I'm willing to try something new each and every single time. But all right, everybody, I'm going to introduce you to one of my buddies. His name is Corey. I can't even ask your last name, Corey.
Kistner.
Kistner, okay. Corey Kistner. This is his two rides right here. This is his Chevelle and his Corvette. All right, can you tell me more about the Chevelle? Like, what's the story behind the Chevelle?
So this was my dad's car. He bought a Chevelle just like this one when he was in high school. He drag raced, and you know, that was his car forever. He ended up getting rid of that one, without making a long story out of it. He ended up getting rid of that one, found this one, had this one restored back to factory original.
Awesome.
Took it to a lot of shows. He wanted it to be a show car. He wanted to show it off. He was really proud of it. And then later on, he decided he didn't really want a show car, and he wanted to put a 5-speed in it, make it more of a driver so he can get it out on the highway with the overdrive.
It's not like having those old school manuals.
Yeah. So he took out the 4-speed, put in a 5-speed. Took off the wheels and tires, put on some Kragers, a little wider wheel in the back for a little more aggressive stance. So yeah, he had that done because he was like, he's not so worried about being a show car and all the factory original stuff anymore, and wanted to make it a driver, something that's fun to drive and fun to show off. And so he took it to a buddy of his to have it all done, have the work done, take out the transmission and everything. And then unfortunately my dad passed away in April of 2021.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
He never got to drive it after the transmission was put in it. So he never got to drive it with the 5-speed, which is what he always wanted. So I actually had to go to the shop and pick it up where he was having the work done to bring it home.
All right, hey, my condolences to you and your family. I didn't know your dad passed away, but hey, in honor of your dad, you're driving his car and you continue to keep it on in the family and keep his legacy alive. In today's video, let's dedicate this to your dad. All right, Corey, what's the story behind the Corvette, the C4 Corvette?
So, as I just mentioned, my dad passed away in April, but he's from Oregon. I'm from Oregon. I went to Oregon State. My dad's a huge Oregon State sports fanatic, and he lived in Portland, just outside of Portland.
Oh, okay.
And when Oregon State made the March Madness tournament in 2021, of course, that was right up the road in Indianapolis. So he flew out. We spent a couple weeks out here. We went to all the Oregon State basketball games, went to the Elite Eight. It was really special to spend that time with my dad. My dad passed away 2 weeks after that.
Like I said, I'm so sorry to hear that, but hey, I'm gonna say this in today's video, this is gonna be dedicated to your dad. But by the way, what's your dad's name?
Dan.
Dan?
Yeah.
Dan Kistner, that's his last. Okay. In honor of Dan Kistner, this video is dedicated to him.
So we were at the March Madness in Indianapolis. We were driving back from Indy, And my dad had asked me a question. He's like, you know, I've always wanted a Corvette. So he's like, if you could pick your perfect Corvette, what would it be? And I said, I wanted a C4. I like that 95, 96 body style, a little bit more rounded on the C4. And it would have the removable top, chrome wheels, 6-speed manual transmission. And the LT1, I wasn't into, you know, the big souped up ZR1s or anything like that. You know, I just wanted something that would be fun to drive.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And one day, I asked him why, and he's like, well, you know, maybe I want to buy it for you. All right, didn't think anything of it. Well, when I was, after he had passed away, I was running some errands one day, and I saw the car show going on at Miles Chevrolet last year, and I pulled in the parking lot, and I'm like, how long is this show going on? They're like a couple hours. I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna go back, get the Chevelle, bring it back to the show. And I come back to the show, and there's this car with a for sale sign in it. Thank you, Aaron Royer, if you're watching. This car with the for sale sign in it, which is literally the car I described to my dad that I always wanted in a Corvette. And I immediately called my wife, and I'm like, we got to buy this. Like, it's meant to be. My dad's telling me I'm buying this car for you right now. So
awesome.
Here it is.
Well, I'm happy for you, man. Hey, if it was meant for you to have it, hey, here it is. It's something you've been wanting, you've been dreaming about it. This is exactly the combination you was looking for. You said LT1 6-speed manual car, but this one seemed like it's pretty well optioned out. But hey, like I said, this is what you was after, 95, 96. We know 1996 was the last year of the C4 Corvette, the 4th generation. But hey, it was their best yet. You know, I know most people are not gonna go to the top tier ZR1 that was made for 5 years, and they discontinued that car in 95. But at least with 96, we got the return of the Grand Sport for 1 year only with the LT4. So that was, you know, in a way, that was Chevy, General Motors, you know, hey, this is the final hurrah for the 4th generation. Hey Corey, like I said, I appreciate you giving me a ride on your Chevelle today, and also same thing goes to the Corvette. It's a little bit of a scorcher today, but you know what, we're gonna make the best of it. Yeah. Try to stay hydrated. It's like what, it's supposed to be like what, 98 degrees today?
It's supposed to be, and my shirt's already wet.
Yeah, mine's too, but you know what, we'll push through, we'll be all right. But right off the bat, feels like I'm going back in time, even though I was born in around the mid 90s. But man, being in a classic, you know, old school muscle car like this is awesome, man. This is how it really was back in the day. Hear that good old 396 swab block.
When my dad had this car restored, he wanted it with all the, you know, the options you could get, and one of them in '69, which was the first year, was an AM/FM 8-track as an option, and he found one that actually works. It still works.
That's cool. You got an AM/FM 8-track, you know, cassette player that still works even to this day. This car is what, 50 something years old, like, yeah, about 53 years old, because that's what, 69. So, and it still works. That's amazing.
And my dad was a huge KC and the Sunshine fan, and here, this is I saved one of his 8-tracks, which is KC signed to my dad.
Cool.
From KC and the Sunshine Band. So I leave that in here.
Right there, that is awesome, man.
So
that's awesome.
It works. It sounds like crap, but it works.
Hey, at least it's got the original speakers. It still work.
It does.
fuzzy dice on there.
Of course, my dad had to have the fuzzy dice.
It's like a lot of folks back then, even still to this day, they got those fuzzy dice. That seemed like the common trend. That's just how it was.
I loved it. Like, this car just, it looks like it's going fast when it's standing still, and I always liked it.
Absolutely, as long as you like it, that's what matters. I know people don't get the C4 credit for its technology and the craftsmanship that it had back in this time. But you know what? At one point, this was the fastest car in the world. I'm talking about anywhere in the, you know, across the coast to coast, you know, even over in Europe. This car was ahead of its time. GM made a masterpiece for what it is, yet it still stands relevant to this day. Hey Corey, I appreciate the ride along, man. Hey, thank you so much for giving me a ride along your C4 Corvette and your Chevy Chevelle. And I appreciate you sharing me that story behind the Chevelle. That was your dad's, one of his favorite cars. And I wish he was here to, you know, not only see it again, but actually get to drive it. But thank you for sharing that with me.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I really do. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, TK Turbo. I'm out.